Once upon a time there were 3 bully goats, Gruff, Rough, and Tough. They had a good thing going, grazing day after day in a big grassy meadow next to a rushing river. They were such big bully goats that no one dared come too near, even though there was plenty of meadow to share.
We don't share,
Tough growled at the other animals. So everything was cool except 3 bully goats weren't happy.
The other side of the river looks better.
Complained Gruff.
The meadow's even grassier. But how do we get there?
Asked Rough.
There's an ogre guarding that creaky old bridge.
just one ogre?
Scoffed Tough.
Big deal. We're the 3 bully goats, Gruff, Rough, and Tough. We can take one puny ogre.
Now the ogre that lived under the bridge was kind of puny, but he was cute too and really nice. He was friends with everybody. That is until Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trip Trap. The smallest bully goat tossed his head and started across the river.
Who's that coming across my bridge?
The ogre asked cheerfully.
It is I, Goat Gruff.
Answered Gruff.
Who's asking?
Oh no, little ogre had heard about the bully goats. His ears quivered and his feet trembled and he pulled on a purple curl. Even the youngest of those 3 bully goats looked big and mean and scary.
Keep going, please. Keep going.
Little ogre whispered, crossing his warty green fingers. But no such luck. Exactly in the middle of the bridge he heard the hoof steps stop. The smallest bully goat stuck his face right down under the bridge.
You're the ogre?
He jeered.
I'm Gruff, and I'm mean and I'm really gruff, and you're just a powder puff. Now stop squawking or I'll butt you from here to Brazil.
Trip trap, trip trap, trip trap. The bully goat continued across the bridge. Little ogre didn't even get a chance to tell him not to trample the wildflowers and to watch out for the baby animals. Sure enough, the smallest bully goat wasted no time trampling the sweet grass and chewing up the buttercups. Then he butted a couple of baby bunnies on his way. Meanwhile, Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trap, the medium-sized bully goat, trotted across the bridge. He looked bigger than his brother and scarier and way meaner. Little ogre took a deep breath.
Who's that coming across my bridge?
He asked.
Who wants to know?
Snarled Rough.
I'm just asking.
Stuttered Little ogre.
Because I'd like to be friends.
Friends? Ha ha ha!
Said the medium-sized bully goat.
I'm rough and I'm mean. I'm really rough, and you're just a powder puff. Now stop squawking or I'll butt you from here to Brazil.
And Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trip Trap. The bully goat crossed the bridge to the meadow on the other side.
Careful with the wildflowers and the baby animals.
Little ogre called after him softly, but Rough wasted no time trampling the sweet grass and chewing up the daisies. Then he butted 2 baby deer out of his way and went to join his brother. Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trip Trap. The 3rd bully goat headed straight for the bridge. He was the biggest, scariest, and sure looked like he was the meanest of the 3 brothers. He was so big that the bridge swayed and groaned under his hooves.
Who's that coming across my bridge?
Squeaked out Little ogre, trying not to faint.
What do you mean, your bridge?
The 3rd bully goat answered, then added,
I'm tough, and I mean, I'm really tough. And you're just a powder puff. Now stop squawking or I'll butt you from here to Brazil.
With a rude and haughty toss of his head, Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trip Trap, Trap, off went Tough in a huff. Little ogre began to cry. He had tried being friendly. He had tried being polite. Nothing had worked with those bully goats.
Gruff, Rough, and
he said aloud. He thought and thought.
But what can one little ogre do?
Scritch, scratch went his fingers. Tip, tap went his toes. Then snip, snap. He snapped his warty finger and thumb.
I've got it!
Little Ogre splashed over to the far side of the bridge and called loudly after the third bully goat.
Yoo-hoo, Tough! The tallest grass is usually the tastiest.
Little Ogre had remembered something. There were some baby animals in the tall grass who didn't need his protection at all. Sure enough, the third bully goat wasted no time prancing straight to the tallest grasses in the meadow, uprooting wildflowers as he went. Suddenly he spotted 4 furry baby skunks and stopped short, a gleam in his eyes. He butted 1, 2, 3, 4 skunks, head over paws, sending them tumbling across the grass.
Oh, I'm bad.
He exclaimed and called.
Hey, Gruff, Ruff, come over here.
As Gruff and Ruff ran up to join their brother, the third bully goat chanted.
I'm tough, and I mean, I'm really tough. And you all, you're just balls of fluff. Now stop.
Before he could finish his song, the little skunks brushed themselves off and squealed. Should we use our stuff? They turned their backsides to the 3 goats, raised their tails, and... What a smell! What a stench! What a way to pay those bullies back! The little skunks laughed their stinky heads off, and all the animals of the meadow joined in, laughing and chanting. Hip hip hooray, we called their bluff. So long, bully goats, Gruff, Ruff, and Tough. And the 3 smelly bully goats, they were so embarrassed, they galloped madly out of the meadow, across the bridge, trip, trap, and far, far away, maybe as far as Brazil, never to bully anyone again.
Kids, don't be a bully.